We're live.
Nice.
Yes. I don't know what happens if I do.
Oh, there.
Okay.
Waiting. ...
Yeah.
Can you see us now? Can you hear us now? Thumbs up.
Only if we tweets.
Yay! You can see and hear us. All right.
It's okay. So if I watch yours, it's so far behind.
It's very far behind.
Okay. All right. Are we loud enough? I hope. Please say yes that we're loud enough, because I don't know how to make it louder.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. We were having some
Kramerisms.
just some technical difficulties. So,
well, we wanted to make this a slumber party for everybody to join, but Sean wouldn't let us have it at his place, and our trailer's not big enough for everybody, so it's just going to be a live chat. No slumber party.
dang. All right. So, happy Saturday, everyone. I almost said happy Friday, but it's Saturday.
Hi, Ethan. So Ethan's our moderator. Don't make Ethan mad, otherwise he'll abuse his powers.
Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Help us out. But we're gonna talk about a few things today, and then we have a giveaway. We have a book giveaway today.
Yeah, actually, well. Where is that book?
Yeah, we're so prepared. At least we have the book.
Yes, that's true. All right, so I think what we'll do at 8:15, we'll do the giveaway for the book.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
And it is a signed copy, if I can open it. Blessings from Joel Salatin. So we had about 70 people enter the drawing back in, what was that? March or April?
I think that was in April.
And we just got the book mailed to us last week, this week. So finally ready to do the giveaway that we talked about a long time ago. So thank you for your patience from everyone who entered. Apologies for the delay. It just was released in September. So it just came out, or September? Yeah, it's December.
Wow. Yeah. We're a little behind the ball.
I was like, it just came out last month.
We were too busy traveling across the United States twice.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be fun to quickly talk about our travel. Maybe we can talk about some of the highlights of the travel. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, let's talk about that. I think what he's hinting at is he wants me to start talking.
No, well, yes. Actually, that's a good idea.
So I think that we left here in August and we just got back a few weeks ago. So got back in end of November? Yeah, right before Thanksgiving we got back.
Yeah.
And so we took a little longer road trip than we had originally anticipated, but had a lot of fun. I think that for me, sorry, have dog hair in my mouth.
That's pretty common here.
It is pretty common here. The highlight for me, I think, was obviously being able to be home and see friends and family. But what I really liked, I think it was our trip home the most, besides the friends and family aspect, because we took our time and we were able to go see places that I never thought I would actually go see. We got to see the Earth ships. We spent quite a few days in Utah and toured around a lot of the canyon lands and was able to go out and look at some places that I didn't even know existed. And I thought that was really cool.
I was actually really surprised how much I enjoyed Utah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would want to live there basically in a desert. But it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, there was way more to see and to do than I realized. I really liked it. I think I'm also finding that I really like big open spaces.
Yes.
Like anytime we go into a town, like
if it has 4 lanes, he's like, this is the coolest town.
Well, it's not just that, but like when we're searching for land and there's big open pastures.
Yep.
It calls to me. So being in the desert and just having all of that huge space, that was just great. Except for I didn't really like that in Wyoming. I didn't like the Wyoming space. I don't know. Something about that one I didn't like. So anyway.
Yeah. So what about you? What were some of the highlights?
So I actually enjoyed the trip there more than I did the trip back.
Interesting. Because you were excited to get there.
Right. The reason that we went and traveled back to Oregon was to see friends and family and to do some property searching, which that didn't work out so well. So I was really excited to go and be with friends and family, mostly with family. So the trip there was the best, especially when you were able to take some time off of work and we could just relax and not have to worry about our next stop.
Sleeping in our truck was not a highlight.
that was
down. That was a low point.
Yeah. We had some great ideas while sleeping in the truck, and I think we could make it work if we did a little remodeling. But yeah, no, sleeping in the truck. No, this 46-year-old body ain't having it. No. Yeah. So, I mean, I did enjoy the travel back. I really liked the Earth ships. Sang just said he liked the Earth ships. We got to travel to some of the states we've never been to. I actually was really surprised on how much I liked Missouri and Arkansas, at least the scenery of it all. So I don't know. The whole thing was really great. Of course, the highlight was being with family and the fact that we got to help my brother renovate the upstairs of his house. I mean, that was really super cool because he had been in that house for
about a year.
Yeah, a year plus. When he first got it, he ripped out the carpet upstairs with intentions of moving forward with it and just wasn't able to because of work. And so helping him out with that was, I don't know, I really liked that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Plus it gave me something to do. Yeah. Let's see here. So I think on our trip, we realized, and actually some of our viewers realized, that we really enjoyed the traveling part of it.
Yeah. And
for me, I think it would be really cool if we could actually travel more, which is a conflict because like I want to buy property and not move and just grow things and raise animals. But the traveling was so cool. It was, I don't know, I really liked it.
Yeah.
So one of the things we had, an idea that we had, do you want to explain the idea? Or
you can.
Okay. So when we were traveling, one of the thoughts we had was actually traveling. Well, this is a conflict again. So we still want to buy property and we are still looking for property, but we thought maybe if we can't find property in a reasonable time frame, or if we do find property, we may actually convert our truck into a, what do they call them? An overlander, and travel and go from homestead to homestead across the state and continue our homestead helper series where we go onto people's homesteads and help them out. And so this would give us an option or the ability to do the traveling, to still be part of the homesteading community, to learn the trade even more, to grow our community across the United States, meet more people.
And potentially outside of the U.S.
Yeah, at some point, if this all works out well for us and we don't run out of money, maybe, do it outside of the US. And so, which is a complete conflict. Well, not completely. The traveling part's the conflict.
Right. I think where we're at right now is, for those of you who have been following us for a while, know we were really heavily searching for land. We were all in looking for land. We've looked at, I don't even think I can count how many properties we've actually looked at online. Physically, we've probably seen about 70 properties. We haven't shared all of the properties in videos for multiple reasons, but I think that it's just a little discouraging with, well, hi, Floyd.
Hi.
It's a little discouraging with the limited inventory, the high prices, and just really not finding what we're looking for, because we can tell pretty much now, for the most part on paper, whether or not we even want to go look at it. I think we're a lot closer to, the creek is still really important to us, and the different types of lands were still flexible. So we even opened it up and started looking at homes with homes already established on it, even though that wasn't something that was really important to us, just because we thought maybe we could get into it easier and maybe do some financing instead of completely being, debt free. So we're open that way, I think. But what we're finding is we're just not finding what we're looking for. And I think our last time we did a live was back in February, March timeframe. And we really haven't looked at much. I think we've looked at less than 10 properties this year.
Your mom's on. Say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom.
And Al.
Hi, Al. Your mom's on too.
Oh, she is. Hi, Mom. And Al. And Mom.
So I think that we're just kind of at this place where we really want our homestead. We really want land, but we're not willing to go crazy in debt for it. Because one of the things with that means I have to stay working a lot longer. And and so one of the things we'd really like to do, obviously, when we have land, is have the ability to
Is that a good shoulder buddy?
is have the ability for me to help out on the homestead as well. But if we purchase something with the way prices are right now, it just means I'm having to stay working for a lot longer so that we can pay off the loans. So I think that's just something to where we're finding it kind of hard. So we've considered perhaps we pause looking and do the traveling a little bit more.
What are you doing, Floyd? You can't come up here, buddy. This is as far as you're gonna go. Oh, it's Kyle Anderson. What in the world? Well, thank you for the donation.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you. You're our first donation. But Kyle, wow, hi. Good to say hi to you and have you be part of this. Kyle was one of my fellow employees at my old job, at his old job as well. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, so where were we? So one of the questions that came up, Mullins Family Homestead said, what is our price per acre? So this is where...
That's hard.
Yeah. At first, we thought we're going to just do 100% debt-free. And so we were looking, when we first started looking, we were looking at things that were 5,000 to maybe 6,000 an acre. So we can get as many acres as we could afford with our cash. However, that was 2019, 2020, and now the available cash that we have doesn't buy as much. I mean, with the way the housing prices are going, inflation, all that stuff. So we have reached out to our financial planner to come up with a way for us to finance it to where it's not going to be a huge burden for us, because we don't want to take on a burden to buy a homestead, but yet we kind of feel like for the property that we're looking for, and I call it the pickiness that we're trying to, what's the word? Us being picky, we'll just say it that way. I think we're going to have to finance. So recently, like, we looked at a piece of property that was like 15 to 18,000 an acre, and that's just kind of where it is at this point. So all right,
It also had barns and it had a house on it.
Yeah, there was lots more infrastructure than
right.
just raw land.
Right.
Yes.
So I think that's where I said it depends, because spending 15 to 20,000 for raw land that has zero infrastructure for us, it seems very difficult at this point.
Yes.
Because we would then have nothing to build, you know.
Yeah.
So
another reason that we may actually finance the purchase and keep the cash for the other stuff that we need. So, so to answer the question is anywhere from $0, $1 an acre to, I mean, we've even looked at things that are 20,000. We are looking in a certain area, and I think maybe we should pause because I did say 8:15. We're going to do the giveaway.
I was just going to ask you that. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to take a hard pause on this topic.
Okay.
We are going to go back to our giveaway. So as a reminder, in March.
Yep.
Was it March of
March or April?
Year? Yeah. We went to Polyface Farm along with Sean, the Modern Yeoman, the Flower Guy, Alex, and then is that it?
That was it.
Just the four of us.
Just the four, okay. And the dogs.
And the dogs. And during that time, Joel was telling us about his new book that it's now titled Polyface Micro, but at the time it was going to be called Homestead Animal Happiness, I think.
Yep.
And we asked if he would sign a book that we could give away to our viewers. And so he said he would. And this is the signed book. And for full transparency, they actually donated this book to us to give away to a viewer. So we want to thank Polyface Farms for that generous donation. So we're going to do the giveaway the same way we did. We have 69 people that entered. The giveaway was closed like 2 or 3 weeks after we put the video out. And we're going to use Google's random generator on Google Sheets to pick a number and associate it with a name. So are you ready, Katie?
I am so close to being ready, Nate. All right.
My shirt is so just awkward. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right.
Do I hit enter?
Yeah, just hit enter.
Boing. All right, and the winner is Christina Grubb.
Let's make sure there's not 2 Christina Grubbs, just to make sure. I doubt there would be.
How do I?
Sort by full name.
Oh, goodness.
Well,
just making this so difficult.
Just click on the little drop down thing and sort A to Z. Boom. All right. So there is no. Okay. So Christina Grubb, congratulations. We will send you an email from our email account, and we'll get all the information to send this book to you. Congratulations. That's exciting. Round of applause. Okay. Where were we? Oh yeah. So we are still searching in a particular area, and maybe that is one of the reasons that the prices of land is so expensive, because we're basically looking an hour to an hour and a half radius outside of Asheville, not because we want to be close to Asheville, but because we like the mountain area of Western North Carolina. And we've made friends there. And basically an hour or so radius from Knoxville, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
In Tennessee? Is that the right radius?
I would say, yeah, between Johnson City, is it Johnson City, and down to about, we haven't looked too much south of Knoxville. We've looked east and west of Knoxville, kind of all around on the upper portion, but not below it, if that makes sense.
Right.
So kind of,
so basically Pigeon Forge,
yep,
north, and a little bit west of Knoxville, but not into the Cumberland Plateau.
No, I would say probably the furthest is Pall Mall. Is that how you pronounce it? That's probably the furthest west we've gone.
Yeah, so Mullins Family Homestead said that they're looking Johnson City, Greenville area, and we
love Greenville.
The Greenville area.
Love Greenville.
I think we have one new property search video coming up that is in Greenville. That's the one that had the house and the multiple barns.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm in the process of editing that one right now.
Yep. Absolutely love Greenville. we've actually, of the properties we've liked the most, 2 of the 3 that we would have loved to have made a successful offer on were both in Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
we've definitely looked all around there. It's just been hard lately. The prices in Greenville have gone up significantly. They were pretty reasonable in the 2,000 to 3,000 an acre, and now they're up to 15,000 to 18,000 an acre for a lot of the places in there. So it's definitely gotten a lot more,
yeah,
difficult to find what we're looking for.
yep, yeah. It's like trying to find a place in Oregon and Washington.
Oh,
It's
that was really difficult.
just not possible.
Yeah.
Upstate South Carolina, yeah, if it's kind of in the mountain area of South Carolina. I know there's a little sliver up there. So basically that area.
Mhm.
Maybe at some point we just kind of give up on that dream and start heading either further north or further west into like Missouri or
Mhm.
Virginia or Arkansas or
Arkansas.
something like that. So
Yeah.
because those are also
Mhm.
very pretty states and good homesteading laws.
Yeah, same thing. So there was somebody had also, we had gotten a couple questions sent to us before, and I think one of the questions was, we're on this like really memorable once of a lifetime type of trip that we're doing right now, right? We sold everything that we owned and we're just on this trip to kind of see where we want to land. And somebody asked, is there anything we would have done differently or maybe narrowed the search down? And I think for me, I don't know that I would have done things much differently besides start a few years earlier.
Or gain all the knowledge prior to searching. Because I
Yeah.
think there were probably a handful of properties that
Yeah.
had we known what we know now, we would have jumped on.
Mhm.
I mean, to be honest, we knew very little, if anything, about what kind of land we wanted, what we could do with the land. So there was a lot of learning that we did along the way, and probably some very missed opportunities. And I'm sure there's a lot of you going,
Yeah.
But I guess that's just the price we're going to pay. Sang said, "Hey, I'm here in Indiana," so he's suggesting, "Come on up."
Sorry, Sang. I don't know. I've never been there. I guess I shouldn't rule it out.
You shouldn't rule it out.
But yeah, I think it's one of those where I don't know if we've narrowed it down. I know there's definitely areas that we really like. That was another question: is if money wasn't an issue, is there somewhere you'd want to live that maybe is just out of the question because you can't afford it? And I would say one of the places that we've looked for there's 2 places that I think I really have liked a lot. And of course, this is North Carolina, Tennessee, because that's where we've spent the majority of our time looking at places. But I would say Hendersonville, North Carolina has probably been one of my favorites. I really loved it there. We stayed there for
the winter last year.
Yeah, a couple months last year. And property there is very expensive and very hard to come by. As soon as you see it go up, it sells almost immediately.
It's definitely one of the hotter areas in that radius of Asheville.
Yeah. And then another place I really liked that we stayed for only a couple weeks, but was Kodak, Tennessee. And I really liked that. And that's very similar as well. It was very expensive, and properties are really hard to come by because I don't know what all happens there, but touristy draw.
It's close to Gatlinburg. It's close to Pigeon Forge. They have a very large blues festival. That's where we stayed, is at the campground where the Blue Festivals is.
Mm-hmm.
It's close to Knoxville. It's a great place for Airbnb, vacation rental. Like it's one of those triangle. It's close to Johnson City, Greenville, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of going back. I'm reading through this. Mullins Family Homestead has similar ideas that we do, where if we were to buy a bigger piece of property that we had to finance, that we would have to rent part of it out or do some sort of other non-homesteading type activities to help pay for that. And yes, we definitely have thought about that. And that's one of the things that we kind of think about when we're looking at properties is how else can we use it besides raising animals and our food and having a buffer between us and the neighbors.
Yeah, and how can we pay off if we do get a mortgage? How can we pay that off quickly and not have to rely on my income? Because the quicker we can be sustainable outside of my work is obviously the quicker that we're not reliant on me having a full-time separate job. So we've thought about Airbnb or Verbo or doing some type of, whether it's a shop selling jams and things like that. So I think it really just depends on if there's something established and already there. So we look if there's already orchards or if there's already berries or things that we could quickly start something up versus, or if there's like at least an acre of pasture or there's already some fencing in place or there's already some infrastructure so we could get started a little bit quicker. How can we reduce our out of pocket as much as possible? So that's definitely stuff that that we're looking at or considering.
Yeah. Question came up, would we consider a smaller, like 5-acre property just to have while we're looking for that dream property?
Yeah.
Is that out of the question for you, or
it's not it's not out of the question. It would have to be the right property. We've looked at a couple 5-acre properties. We've looked at a couple 10-acre properties, 7 acres, 13 acres. So we have looked at some smaller properties. And the issue that we've had with the majority of them is how you're right up on your neighbor and you'd hear every conversation. And that's one of the things that, we'd really prefer not to be right up on somebody. So if there was, depending on how it was shaped or positioned, that would make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think there could be the potential of that smaller property that we do for a couple of years and then upgrade and, grow our skills, all that kind of stuff. So definitely not out of the question. So I want to just say hi to some of the people that are here. I mean, we're just
chatting.
We're just, mouthing it off, not saying hi to anybody. So where do we start? Let's see here. So, hello, Bonnie. Hi from Oregon. Well, hello. Thanks for joining us, Bonnie. South Loop River Homestead. I think they said hi, but hello again. And then we have Darlene Ruthenbach is here, and Henry Thompson, and Sang from Growing Low Country, Gary Fitkin from Seattle, Washington. Hello, Gary. Herbert Fraz was the one that asked if we would do upstate South Carolina. And then
we've only looked at one property in South Carolina.
Yeah, that was literally on the
border.
It was actually on State Road, wasn't it?
It was, on was it called Border Road? Like something very weird.
Yeah,
like
I think it was either State Line Road or
that's what it was. Yeah, State Line Road.
Yeah, you were actually really serious about that one too.
I liked that one a lot. Yep, I really did.
Yeah, despite it not having a creek.
It had a creek. It had 2 of them.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay. Not a memorable one, apparently.
He didn't like it, and we didn't air it.
No, because the video on that one just I
wasn't
didn't do a good job. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, that one, the creeks were on 2 edges, unfortunately. So it was 2 bordering creeks is what it was. But the amount of buildings that needed tear down was significant.
Yeah.
So almost every building that was there was in very, very bad shape.
The tear down, my favorite word. It's a tear down. Hi, Maxine. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
So Julie says, my house is in the middle of 16 acres and I seldom hear neighbors. See, that's fantastic.
Yep. And that's the difference too, where we're totally open to, there's different, there's been properties we've looked at that have been 80 acres that didn't feel private at all. That you felt like you were surrounded and you literally were. So I think that for us, it's the biggest thing is where you can set your house up, right?
Yes. Sorry. My mind is going off on something else. So Darlene said, "Hey, you said my name correctly. Congrats." I'm like, I never say things right. How did I get that right? Hi, Joe. Oh, hey, Joe. How are you? So Joe H here, he's the one that has edited many of our homestead property search videos. Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Thanks for helping us.
Yes, and thanks for the help as well. Do we want to rewind a little bit and talk about where we're at now and what we're doing?
Whatever makes you happy, honey.
Oh, well.
And delete.
Sure. Let's do whatever makes me happy. So for giving you guys an update of where we're at now, we got back a few days before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And when I say we got back into our trailer in North Carolina, and we are back at Mr. Wayne's farm for the winter. So we had thought that we were going to, you all know how I can screw up a name. Yes, Billy. Yes, you can. We thought that once we got back, we were going to stay a little bit more in the foothills, mm-hmm. but we decided that we're going to go ahead and stay here at Mr. Wayne's farm. They invited us to stay longer, and he's actually been really helpful in helping us network and find or do some property searching in the area that he lives, because he has lived here a while and he knows a lot of people. So it's been really fun to meet more of the neighbors, more of the neighborhood, and look at some properties. Is that it? Is that all the update?
I can get a visual update.
You're going to do a visual? No?
Visual update.
What does this even mean? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right. We do have that update to do.
This is exciting. I was very excited. These.
You have to go up.
I will. I know.
Oh, look at all that.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, that's okay.
There you go.
Oh, look at those. Those are the eggs.
He marked one.
I wanted to see what colors of eggs each chicken is laying. So we did get the chickens back from our chicken sitter and the second parents of our chickens, the modern yeoman. Thank you
Sean
again,
and Holly.
Sean and Holly, for watching them, and for Mom and Dad Yeoman for also watching the chickens. I know we broke Mama's heart.
Yeah.
She really liked those chickens and didn't want us to take them back.
Yeah, she was a little sad.
Yeah. So our chickens are back with us, and they're very healthy and happy.
Yep.
And right now we are almost for everybody. Right now we are getting 4 eggs a day
out of our 8 chickens.
Out of the 8. So
we got a few holdouts.
Yeah. We need some tips on how to get our non-egg layers that are young, just beginning, to start laying eggs and be more productive.
Well, one is she's got a few more weeks or months. The Brahma.
Is that Betty Jane?
Betty Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's a little bit. I think they said that those take longer, but this is we have 12 eggs right now. Yesterday I cooked 10 of our eggs. I made a cake, and then I made a couple breakfast and dinner. Both had eggs, so we've been enjoying our eggs. Wow.
What was that?
Something landed on the trailer.
That sounded like a branch.
It did sound like a branch.
Where we're at on the RV pad at Mr. Wayne's, there's some river birch kind of hanging over us, and they're kind of designed, I guess, to hang, but sometimes their branches break off and fall, and it's a little scary at times.
So I think somebody asked about the giant carrot. We did try the giant carrots. We ate one completely raw, and
that was the smallest of the giant, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it wasn't this. Yeah, it was one of the 3.
Uh-huh.
And then I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's it. We have a couple more on the ground still that we haven't pulled up.
Well, but we
that
did
look pretty large.
But the giant one,
Mhm.
the biggest carrot I've ever seen in my life. The outer like quarter inch of it was really tasty and it was good. The most of the inside it was just woody, so it was not good. It's really not good. The other chicken, well, the other carrot we ate was actually really good.
Yeah, the first one was really good.
Yes. So we're leaving the other ones in the ground and we're just going to see how big they get. I don't think we'll actually be able to eat them, but we're just going to see how big they get. What?
Katie making cookies video is a classic.
What are you doing?
That was in the cookie video.
Oh. I don't know what you're doing.
You never know what I'm doing.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. No, I didn't video myself making cakes, but I was very proud. They were very good cakes, and it was the first time I had made a cake from scratch before. It was just a vanilla cake with vanilla buttercream. It was quite tasty.
Yeah, you have claimed, you say that you're not a baker because you don't really.
I don't bake.
Yeah, because you don't follow instructions.
I don't like to follow recipes. So that's my problem. And
instructions.
Or instructions. I don't really listen to rules.
Let's take this path down here. Where does this go? Katie, that's not how you get to the arch. All right. Keep going. Sorry.
We want it like a mother. Like a mother. Oh, so how many of you saw us roast the Simple Life Reclaimed? And how many of you were super confused when you saw it, wondering what we were doing? Oh man, it was funny. So
we were going to go meet them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the plans was for us to, when we were in Arkansas, we were going to head down to where they are and meet them and claim our prize. Unfortunately, our timing between their work that they had going on, they have a lot going on, and our travels, it Jennifer, me, utterly confused. Jennifer, you weren't the only one.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was fun though.
It was fun. It was actually one of the easier videos we've made because it was easier when you're not worried about being yourself. You're just like,
you're making fun of somebody else.
You're just having fun. So
yeah, we actually mentioned, so one of our viewers said that we should do roasting videos like that of all the homesteaders that we know, but without their permission, just roast them. So I don't know. What do you think, Sang and Sean, and should we roast you
and Billy?
And Billy. Very fun.
Oh,
I bet you my fellow coworker is like, what in the world is he even talking about?
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, so I think we've. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like if there's any other topics. Is there any other topics or questions? Thank you.
So yeah, Julie and others said that we should have won. It's okay that we didn't. We weren't really looking. We're just looking to have fun and then basically have a way to introduce ourselves into other people's communities. And so it's just kind of putting ourselves out there, even though it's uncomfortable, so we can make our community bigger.
Yeah. And while we,
Jennifer wants us to roast Sean and Holly. I don't think we can do that without permission.
That would be hilarious. I would like Sean and Holly to roast us.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so any other questions that y'all have? I think that somebody mentioned about a couple people have been commenting about our eggs and stuff, and a lot of people have said put light on it, put heat on them. And then somebody just mentioned Doug and Stacy's tips, and one of the tips I saw from her is to make sure that you have eggs that are getting ready to come into egg laying time about this time of year when your others are stopping production because they're either molting or it's getting cold. And our girls just started laying eggs in, I think it was early November. So they are about that time. So I think it's one of those things where they're at the right age, and they had, a little travel and a little bit of
Yeah.
trauma
Just a little bit.
happen. At almost a 2.5 hour ride in their coupe,
With the roof almost.
with the roof almost falling off.
So when we left the yeoman's house, we forgot to latch the hood.
We had bungeed it.
We bungeed the we did
Mhm.
bungee the door shut, which bungeed the hood, the roof from going up, but we didn't use the latches. So we're traveling down the interstate 70 miles an hour, and all of a sudden we hear this we hear this sound, this cracking sound. We're like, what is that? And so I pull over, and sure enough, like 1/4 of the entire roof had basically become a wind sail and just snapped in half and cracked. And so we had to screw it shut and then
Make sure count all 8 girls are still there and apologize profusely. And give them lots of extra snuggles and treats.
yeah. When I peeked my head in there, I only saw 5 chickens. I'm like, oh no! Well, it turned out those 3 chickens were huddled underneath the nesting box where the roof had come up.
Yeah, that was a little terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so other than that, I think it's pretty good that 4 of them are laying.
Yep. Consistently every day.
Every day, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same ones. The olive egger, the barred rock,
the midnight majesty,
the black Moran, and I think the Barn of Elder, right? Is it Misty? Or is it?
No, it's one of the brown ones, I think.
Oh.
Is it the Welsomer?
I think it's the Welsomer then. Yeah.
What is Welsomer's name? Is that Jenny?
That's Jenny.
Okay.
We named all our chickens.
Yes, we named our chickens. And yes, we know they're livestock. And yes, we know you're not supposed to name them. But, they're our first egg-laying chickens.
Yep. So, yep, they all got names. All right. So
we should roast each other. Oh, man, I think this is going to turn into something either really good or not so good.
It's not going to be good. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? Somebody asked if there was any resources that we could share beyond the obvious Redfin, Zillow, local agent for finding land. I think the biggest things that have helped us has been word of mouth. Just talking to folks. I've actually found properties by telling somebody in a restaurant while I was waiting for food that we were looking for land, and he literally picked up the phone and called somebody that he knew was selling their property.
That's one of the reasons we love Tennessee so much. The people there are so incredibly nice.
And he had just met me and he's like, I know somebody, I know exactly what you're looking for. And then the Lands of America, that is probably my go-to search engine. I don't use Zillow or Redfin. Personally, I use Lands of America because you can do your searches. If you do have an agent and they send you listings, one of the things that I have found really helpful is doing proximate searches. So if they send you something and you maybe like the area, or you like Greenville, for example. So if we know we're going to be going and traveling to a property in a certain area, I'll do a proximity search and I'll look around there and see what else might be available that didn't come up on the regular search. Either it didn't come up when our agent shared with us, or when I was looking on Lands of America, it didn't come up
on the regular MLS.
Because it's not on the regular MLS. So other things, we've searched Facebook Marketplace and we've searched Craigslist. We found a few that way. It's been a little harder to get a hold of people via those channels sometimes to get information on it, because one thing that we like to do before we just go out and look at a property, because typically it's a several hour drive for us, and that's a lot of time because I do work full time. So that means time either I have to take off of work or we have to wait till the weekend. And so we try to make sure that it has a creek, which has failed us a few times. There's been a few times where it's shown there's a creek and there hasn't actually been one, or it's been a wet weather creek. And then we also try to check on what the slopes are and what the land looks like, because
And we do that with Google Earth.
Yeah, Google Earth is what we use for that. And some, depending on the city or the county, some of the GIS systems work pretty well for that as well. So
I'm going to add to that. But
Yep.
first, I want to say hi to Jay and Cheryl. They've joined us from Celtic Roots Farm. Thank you for joining, guys. We're all going to roast Billy at Perma Pastures Farm, so let's have fun with that.
that's too easy.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Dang. Ouch. All right. So the other thing is, of course, networking. So Katie and I are lucky to have Mr. Wayne helping us network in the area here. But we've had our real estate agent ask her her network of real estate people, and then she asked them to ask their people, because it kind of expands it. We actually toured one property from Ball, right, from that. And then with the Facebook Marketplace ones, a few of them have said that they are inundated with messages, or they've already sold it, but they saw a couple properties in that neighborhood and they alerted us to those. So it's all about basically asking other people to help you. So, hey, by the way, everybody that's helped us with sending us links,
yes,
thank you very much. Basically, having people help has been awesome. It's been so great, because it's so crazy that they'll send us things that we haven't seen, even though it's in the exact area that we've been looking for. Or even though we're online all the time. It's so weird how the system works.
Yeah, because I think sometimes maybe one issue is we might filter it because we are looking for something pretty specific. And if we filter it down too much, sometimes we don't necessarily see.
That's true. Yes.
So that would be another potential issue, I guess you would have.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer the next one?
Which one is that one?
The
last one?
Yeah.
Has the trip west changed or softened your list of property criteria?
Nope.
Well, I guess you want to answer that? No, it hasn't. It hasn't. What has changed is it's easier for me to say yes to a property out here, because I know that finding a property in Washington or Oregon is just off the plate right now. And as much as I hate saying that, because that's where my family is, it's made it a little bit easier for me to accept, I guess, that for now, because nothing's permanent, it's going to be out here. And so I've been more open now than I had been in the year that we've been looking, even though I didn't realize in that year that I was kind of closed off to these ideas, to the properties. So we still are pretty picky in what we're looking for. And one of the reasons we haven't been putting out videos, and like Katie said earlier, we haven't been looking at a lot of properties physically, because we're ruling a lot of things out online, because we kind of get a sense of them now that we've been to so many properties physically. We know what we're going to see based on the GIS, the Google Earth images, and all the other stuff you can get from the listing. So it's so the fact that inventory is low, our criteria is high, and we can now filter a lot of things out online. That's why we haven't been physically looking as much.
Yeah. Somebody asked how we feel about Virginia.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, we looked at a couple properties there when we went to visit Polyface Farms. I think that's one of the pieces, if we were to travel a little bit, that we would look at perhaps staying in a place a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like we like it here because we know it, right? We're comfortable. We've started to meet people. How wonderful is it that people call you and invite you to Thanksgiving? That to us, it's like when you're not near your family, to have folks who welcome you into their families, it feels really special. And I think, so for us, we're kind of building that community here, and we feel like we've made some really strong connections, and that makes it hard to kind of look elsewhere right now, because we love that, and we actually do love the way the land looks here. We love so much about the area, just with the low restrictions on the land and things like that. I think so. There's so many pieces that make this area really appealing for us. Uh-oh.
Oh, Billy is just on fire.
Is he?
Yes.
He liked that, didn't he?
No, he's now going after Sean.
Oh, he's got, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Sorry. That was scrolling on the comments.
Okay.
So Bonnie, I think I kind of answered the question. How am I feeling about not being able to find property in Oregon and Washington? It's a mix because I want to be there for the family. But I really, after going back and seeing things from a different perspective, I don't really think I want to be out there in a homesteading way. It's just the laws aren't quite up to what we want to do. And so a little bit too restrictive for us. So it's a mixed feeling. If I had the perfect solution, it would be buy property out here, or perfect property, and then move my family out here, which I know is a stretch of any sort of reality, but that's what I like. At least we can have them come out and visit quite a bit, and we can go back and visit.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I think that another area that I would also like is in the Midwest. My family's in the Midwest. Most of my family's in the Midwest, and I do have my friend Jenny, who was in a video. Was it the last video? Yeah, it was the last video we posted.
Second to last. Oh yeah. And
with her kids, and they have a small homestead out there, and I think that in that Missouri area, it's really beautiful there, and there's some nice established homesteads, and prices are affordable. So I think it's just climate too. That's also been a big thing for us. It's really nice here as far as the climate. I mean, it's been absolutely gorgeous weather, and last winter was amazing. And I think that milder climate and not having super harsh winters is a huge appeal, at least for me. The summers here are a little rough, but
yeah, a little
rough,
just a little. Don't like the summers.
But
I don't like them. I want to respond to a couple of comments. Yep. And so Debbie C, you asked about some places to stay in North Carolina. Can you email us? If you go to the About page on our profile on YouTube, there's a show email button that you can click on. You'll get our email address. Please email us. The only thing I can offer is where we stayed last winter. Mm-hmm. It was fairly inexpensive for RVing and a fantastic place over the winter. Mm-hmm. And then there was Becky. Becky Witt, can you also email us? You're mentioning this property, this 8-acre property in Virginia. I'd love to take a look at it. Well, we're about an hour in, babe.
Whoa.
Yeah, we got some people that like to watch boring talks.
Ain't no.
Good friends. I like it.
Good friends. Yeah, I love seeing all the faces, and a lot of friends and a lot of channels that we watch are on here too. So that's awesome to see.
Yeah. Bonnie also asked, do we have any winter plans, project plans with Mr. Wayne? Yes, we do. I don't know what all of them are. Since we've been here, I've helped on a few things, like we're leveling out some more area for more crops and plant more blueberries and elderberries. We have some mill work to do with a sawmill. We went to a neighbor's and cut some logs from a maple tree. an oak tree, and we're going to probably make some tabletops with those at some point. So it's a lot of, I would probably more infrastructure projects than gardening projects, but definitely projects, but not quite as heavy and fast paced as it was over the summer.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. And for me, I'm going to be traveling with work quite a bit. So I'm going to be gone a lot more than I was last year. I have 2 trips already scheduled. I'll be gone next week, and then I'll be gone. I have the end of the month off for winter break, and then I'll be traveling the first day back from our scheduled break again. So that'll be interesting too, to put that into the mix of me not actually being here and working from different locations. So
that's going to make home looking at properties really hard.
Yeah.
That's okay, babe. I'll go look at them and I'll make the decision and I'll buy one. By the time you get back, we'll be ready to go.
Right. I think it'd work the other way.
Hey, I gave you that opportunity when I left in May.
I know. I should have taken you up on it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think
that might be it. Thank you, everybody, for joining and for liking. If you haven't hit that like button, please do before you leave. Kyle, thank you for joining. That was great to see you. Very huge surprise. I hope you're doing well. And all of our friends that we've already mentioned, thank you guys very much for joining. And the email, there's a C email button on it.
It's the Kramer Life at Outlook.
Okay, yeah. So the Kramer Life at outlook.com.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll just put that in the notes. I'll just do this.
Make it easy. So there we go.
I highlighted it. So okay.
Do we want to answer the last question that we just got?
We'll answer one more.
What have you found to be the top 5 to 8 states in your search for property in regards to homesteading and just the ability to be able to do what you want with a property? I don't even think we've looked in 8 states.
I can name off 5.
Okay.
So Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina-ish, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri. I think that's 7.
There you go.
I need one more. Indiana. No, I don't know. Indiana. Sorry, saying
5 to 8.
Oh,
That's good.
Yeah. So out here in the east.
Yeah, those have been the ones that we've found have had the most lax homesteading laws, at least from what we're seeing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and thankfully we don't have to worry about the homeschooling laws. Like that's not in our purview, so
yeah,
it makes it a little bit easier.
Hey, Ethan, you want to be homeschooled?
He's done with school. Do you want to do school again, Ethan? And live in an RV with your mom and your dad?
No. All right.
All right, everybody. Tony, thank you for showing up, even if you're a little late. Everybody, thank you very much. And we will see you next year, I guess. What?
Indiana has more corn than people. That's what your son said.
Okay.
Cool. I did not know that. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And we'll see you on the next video.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.